Are you tired of being an intermediate level English speaker? Are you ready to break through your language learning barrier and become an advanced level speaker? Mastering collocations can help. In this video, you'll learn advanced level collocations with the verb make that you can use the next time you're speaking English. So grab your vocabulary notebooks and let's get started. Our first collocation, when we make a big deal out of something, we are essentially treating it as more important or more serious than it really is. It's like putting the spotlight on a situation and sometimes exaggerating its significance. Like in this sentence, don't make a big deal out of minor mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. This example says, she tends to make a big deal out of birthdays and always organizes elaborate celebrations for her loved ones. So this person here has a habit of treating birthdays with great significance, going above and beyond to celebrate in elaborate ways. Do you know anyone like that? Let me know in the comments. When we make calculations, we are engaging in the process of performing mathematical operations to determine a result or outcome. Engineers need to make complex calculations to make sure bridges don't fall down. When dealing with finances, you're likely required to make precise calculations to make sure your math is free of errors. Like in these sentences, engineers need to make complex calculations to ensure the structural integrity of a building. In this instance, calculations are made to guarantee the safety and stability of a structure, its structural integrity. And before finalizing the budget, the finance team needs to make precise calculations of projected expenses. Here, precision is important as the finance team meticulously or carefully calculates projected expenses before settling on the budget. You may stumble across this collocation when reading or listening to entertainment news, and that's make a cameo. To make a cameo means to have a brief and sometimes uncredited appearance in a performance, typically in movies or television. An example sentence using this collocation is, fans were excited to see the actress from the original TV series make a cameo in the reboot. When we talk about movies or TV shows, a reboot is a new start to an established fictional universe, work, or series, like what they do with Spider-Man movies every few years. When we make a commitment, we are pledging or promising to do something, often with a strong sense of dedication or obligation. It's about expressing a sincere intention to follow through and do what you say you're going to do. It might be a full commitment, indicating dedication. You could also make a firm commitment, signaling a strong promise. It could also be a serious or genuine commitment, emphasizing the depth of sincerity. These are commitments from the heart. For example, before joining the team, he had to make a commitment to uphold the company's ethical standards. In this example, the individual is pledging or promising to follow the company's ethical standards. And this sentence says, in a relationship, it's crucial for both partners to make a commitment to open communication and mutual support. Here, the focus is on the commitment to two key elements in a relationship, open communication and mutual support, which are required for a healthy partnership. Next here, when we make a contribution, we are giving or providing something, often in the form of money, time, or effort, for a particular purpose. It might be a major, substantial, or valuable contribution to describe a significant investment in money, time, or effort. On the other hand, a minor or modest contribution highlights a smaller contribution of money, time, or effort, such as in this sentence, employees were recognized for their outstanding work and willingness to make valuable contributions to the team, and the community came together to make substantial contributions to the local food bank during the holiday season. A local food bank is a charitable organization that distributes food to individuals or families who do not have enough. To make conversation or to make polite conversation is to participate in friendly or informal discussions with others, often to establish rapport or simply pass the time. For example, at social events, it's customary to make conversation to create a comfortable atmosphere. And while waiting in line, she decided to make polite conversation with the person standing behind her. Here, the act of making polite conversation or small talk helps pass the time and turns a potentially boring situation into a pleasant interaction. Next here, when we make a discovery, we are finding or uncovering something new, often through observation, research, or exploration. It might be an important, groundbreaking, remarkable, startling, or even surprising discovery, depending on the emotions involved or the implications that come with finding something new. Like in this sentence, the scientist was thrilled to make a groundbreaking discovery in the field of medicine. In this example, the scientist experiences excitement and joy in making a groundbreaking discovery that has significant implications in the field of medicine. And here we have, archaeologists often excavate in the hope of making a significant discovery. Archaeologists are people who study human history and prehistory through excavating or digging at a site and analyzing artifacts. They may spend years digging before finding anything significant that changes or adds to our understanding of human history. Here, when we make an enemy, we are unintentionally, meaning on accident, or intentionally, meaning on purpose, provoking or creating hostility or opposition from someone, leading to the creation of adversaries or enemies, a scenario we'd all prefer to avoid. It might be a bitter enemy representing a level of animosity and resentment or hate. A sworn enemy suggests an intense and deeply rooted adversarial relationship. A mortal enemy suggests a real deep hatred lasting several years and probably is an enemy that is working hard to kill you. Here are two work-related examples that hopefully don't result in murder. It's really counterproductive to gossip about our HR director behind his back. Do you really want to make an enemy out of him? In this scenario, gossiping about the HR director may lead to creating bitterness and animosity, potentially making an enemy out of him, and no one should make enemies in their workplace. It's counterproductive, meaning nothing good comes out of it. And here it says it's essential to communicate diplomatically to avoid making unnecessary enemies in professional settings. Here the emphasis is on the importance of diplomatic communication to prevent making unnecessary enemies in a professional environment. When you are diplomatic, you are careful to say or do things that won't offend or upset others. When we make an escape, we are breaking free or getting away from a situation, often in a hurried or covert manner. It could be a daring escape where quick thinking and courage are essential. It might be a narrow escape highlighting a close call with danger. Occasionally, it might be a miraculous or a safe escape. A miraculous escape is one which defies the odds, and a safe escape emphasizes getting out of danger safely. Here's an example. The protagonist in the novel had to make a daring escape from the enemy's stronghold. In this scenario, the protagonist engages in a daring adventure to break free from the enemy's stronghold. A stronghold can describe a fortress or an area dominated by one person or group. And during the fire drill, employees practiced how to make a safe escape from the building. When we make a recovery, we are talking about the remarkable process of completely regaining health or well-being after an illness, injury, or setback. It might be a full recovery, which is the restoration of health to its pre-setback state. A swift recovery suggests a quick return to being 100% again. Occasionally, the recovery can be described as an astonishing recovery. An astonishing recovery is one that defies expectations. For example, with proper medical care and rehabilitation, many patients can make full recoveries after surgery. In this scenario, with proper care, patients can make a full recovery after undergoing or having surgery. And here in this sentence we have, the athlete worked tirelessly with physical therapists to make a swift recovery and return to the field. Here we have a pair of opposites. To make a good or bad impression is to create a positive or negative perception or view of oneself in the eyes of others. We often talk about making a good first impression or making a bad first impression. First impressions often set the tone for how others perceive us. It's really important to make good impressions in social situations, as these moments can significantly influence future interactions with that person. For example, despite his qualifications, his rude behavior during the meeting made a bad impression on his clients. In this sentence, the negative impact of rude behavior made a bad impression on clients. And in this sentence we have, First impressions often influence how others perceive us, so it's crucial to make a good impression when meeting someone. When something or someone makes headlines, it is not just in the news. It gets significant attention in the media. It's the moment when stories become front and center, capturing the eyes of the public. We talk about an event making front-page headlines, which are major stories. An event could be a tabloid headline, suggesting a story that easily captures the public's interest and curiosity, such as celebrity gossip or a sensational story about a politician or other public figure. For example, the groundbreaking research made headlines in scientific journals and mainstream news. In this sentence, the research was not only featured in scientific journals, but also made headlines in mainstream news, so it reached a much wider or broader audience. And this sentence says, celebrity scandals often make tabloid headlines because they easily capture the public's interest and curiosity. Due to their intriguing nature, celebrity scandals easily make headlines and draw the attention and curiosity of the public. This next collocation, to make modifications, is not just to adjust, but to make changes to improve or adapt something. It's a creative process of tweaking or making changes to improve something. These modifications might be extensive or major modifications. These are significant improvements. And slight modifications may be fine-tuning and attention to small details that make a small difference. For example, we could say engineers often make modifications to existing designs to enhance efficiency and performance. In this example, engineers take a look at something that already exists and make modifications or changes to make it better in some way. This next one says, car enthusiasts enjoy making modifications to their vehicles to optimize their performance. Here we have to make a plea. When we make a plea, we are not just asking. We are formally requesting or appealing, often in a heartfelt or urgent manner. People sometimes make a plea for help or a plea for mercy. A plea for mercy is to ask for forgiveness, usually from someone that has power over you. So if you are in a courtroom and you are a defendant, you may make a plea for mercy from the judge. A plea can be a desperate plea, highlighting the intensity or urgency of the request. An urgent plea is for something that must be done immediately or as soon as possible. For example, we could say in desperate situations, individuals may make a plea for help from friends, family, or the community. So in desperate situations like losing a job and facing eviction, or facing a life-threatening illness, someone may make a plea for help and assistance. When we make a point, we are not just talking, we are expressing an idea in a way that is clear, convincing, and impactful. It could be a valid point, emphasizing the soundness and reliability of the idea presented. A controversial point is one that introduces an element of debate, sparking discussions and offering differing perspectives, while a subtle point involves conveying a message delicately. A memorable point is one that the listener will remember well. Like in this sentence, during the presentation, the speaker made several memorable points about the importance of space exploration. So if you listen to the speaker, you would remember the points he or she made because they were memorable. To make preparations is to organize and arrange things in advance to ensure readiness for an upcoming event or activity. These could be thorough preparations, which are very detailed, or adequate preparations, which are, well, just good enough. They're not as detailed as thorough preparations. When we make initial preparations, we are doing just the first steps of the planning process. And when we make final preparations, we are wrapping up the last steps of the planning process. For example, this sentence says, I've already made the initial preparations for our trip. Maybe I've chosen a destination and booked tickets and a hotel, but I haven't quite figured out what we're going to do each day we're there. That's okay because these are just initial preparations. Our next sentence says, the couple made thorough preparations for their extravagant wedding without the help of a wedding planner. In this sentence, a couple is doing all of the preparations themselves for their wedding and doing all the work that some couples hire a wedding planner to do for them. Next on our list is to make progress. To make progress is to successfully achieve positive development or improve in various aspects. Someone recovering from surgery could be making good progress, meaning they'll possibly be able to get back to their normal routine sooner. For a student learning English, making good progress would be becoming more and more confident using English and getting closer and closer to fluency. Making progress can be assessed in different ways. It might be excellent progress, signifying outstanding and remarkable achievement. Making good progress highlights steady and commendable development. Teachers like to tell the parents of students that their child is making good progress. For example, we could say the students have made good progress in English since the school switched curricula. In this scenario, a big reason for the students' English improvement could be that the new curricula better meets their instructional needs. If you'd like to make good progress on your journey to English fluency, be sure to hit those outstanding like and subscribe buttons and sign up for the Speak Outstanding English newsletter. Enough self-promotion. When we make a proposal, we are not just suggesting, we are formally presenting a plan or idea for consideration. It might be a detailed proposal highlighting the depth and thoroughness of a suggested plan. We often hear a proposal described as a concrete proposal, emphasizing the solidity and practicality of the idea presented. For example, the team gathered to make a detailed proposal for the new project that would benefit the entire organization. And in the upcoming meeting, I will make a concrete proposal to revamp our marketing strategy. Here, the verb revamp means to change something in order to improve it. So the company's marketing strategy will be improved or revamped. Maybe the company will put up ads or hire a spokesperson. Who knows? Here we have the collocation to make redundant, which is to dismiss or fire a person who is no longer needed from a job. These reasons could be because new technology has made your job unnecessary, or the job you were hired to do no longer exists. An example using this collocation is, despite their loyalty and dedication, many workers were made redundant as the company underwent restructuring. In this scenario, workers were loyal to the company and dedicated to their job. However, the company was restructured, so many positions were made redundant. The positions they were originally hired for no longer exist now. A worrisome reality is it's difficult to predict how many jobs AI will make redundant. So as artificial intelligence becomes better and better, we really can't say for certain how many jobs will simply disappear as a result. But don't sit around and worry about that. Instead, practice these collocations by creating your own example sentences in the comments. See you in the future.